I make a lot of videos between things I make for YouTube and the courses that I make. I'm making a video virtually every day. And I used to have to set up lights and cameras and microphones over and over and over again until I came up with this, which is a rolling studio desk, really, with everything you could possibly want all in one place. I call it, Rolling Thunder. And basically what it is it's a Husky workbench that is adjustable. You can move it up and down. And it is on rollers, and it is rock solid because it is steel and wood. So it is nice and heavy, which means that it stays and doesn't shake and wobble. A lot of what I film is demonstrations of me drawing and painting. So I need to have a solid, non-moving surface, and I also need to have cameras that are in position to show what I'm doing. Like a lot of people, I've tried doing this with an iPhone on a little arm. I once built an entire rig out of PVC piping, and that would wobble every time I would touch the table. Same was true of the iPhone. I also want the quality of a DSLR, which is what you're seeing now, so the image looks as good as possible. I want to have good lights that light me and light the surface so you can see us all clearly. I want to have a microphone that is in place and remains solid and reliable. I want to be able to control my sound. I want to be able to control my images. And by locking everything down to this single table, I created basically a studio that I can move anywhere. I can easily adjust it and move it around like this if I want to. But I can also take it out of the studio and I can roll it out into my garden if I want to. And it is all connected by a long extension cord. I could go 100 feet away from my house and still be able to film. Everything is running on a Mac Mini, which is bolted to the bottom of this table. And everything is wired into the table itself. There's a kind of a rat's nest of cables, but everything is identified and labeled so that I can instantly figure out what each of these cords is. I tried making an even neater kind of cord management system, but I change things around quite often, and I plug in other cameras and I do stuff, so it's kind of become a little bit of a mess, but it's fine. It works for me. I also have a hard drive, which is bolted to the bottom of the table so that I can make recordings and they go right into my dedicated hard drive. I also have power source inside of my camera that is also wired into a power strip that is bolted to the bottom of the table. So I can plug all of these lights and devices all into this one power strip, which is again connected to the extension cord. I have two lights bolted to the table. One of them is an Elgato key light. The other is kind of my original light, which is adjustable, but if I had to do it all over again, I would replace these with two Elgato key lights. They're completely controllable from the computer, and I can change the temperature and I can change the intensity of the light. I also have lights behind me in the studio that are adjustable too. I can just change it easily by just pushing these buttons and changing the color. I can also say, Alexa blue, Alexa red. My sound comes from a Rode NT1 microphone, and it is connected to a Rode PSA 1 Plus mic stand, which is completely adjustable. And as you can see, everything is bolted here to the table. So another arm is holding up my Rodecaster Pro mixing board, and I can adjust that. I have a Wally laptop tray, which the Rodecaster Pro is sitting on. My other light also holds yet another camera, which is just a simple webcam, but it allows me to connect to and shows other stuff that's going on the table. And then I also have an Ipevo VZR, which is a document camera that I can adjust to show what I'm making on the table. Everything is controlled through a Stream Deck, and the Stream Deck has 15 buttons, so I can easily change from scene to scene. And when I say scene to scene, I mean Ecamm Live, which I think is the best by far program of its type, and I do all kinds of things with it, and it is phenomenal. So I can put pictures in pictures, and I can switch to different things and have different stuff appearing on screen, and it is a phenomenal application. I strongly recommend it to anybody who is at all serious about doing live streaming or recording their stuff. I'm also using a Canon DSLR 80D with a 24mm pancake lens, which is 2.8. So that's why you're seeing this soft background and this incredibly handsome face perfectly captured by this great camera. It's also on an adjustable arm, which is a Manfrottto Magic Arm, a 244, and that means that I can raise and lower it, move it back and forth, and it's completely adjustable. And again, it's bolted to the table. So the camera, lights, monitor, it's a cheap old HP monitor that I have. Nothing special about that particularly. And then everything, of course, is bolted in, is connected through a couple of USB hubs. That all of that goes into the Mac Mini. And I have the Mac Mini is in a hide-it mount, so that connects to the bottom of the table as well. If you include the Rodecaster Pro, the DSLR, the Mac Mini, all of this equipment together, you're talking about maybe $4,000, which is quite a lot. But I have to say, the 2 or 3 years that I've been using this every day, it's money been really well spent for me, because I can just sit down and immediately start filming, and I can adjust so many things so easily. The most indispensable part to me has been this Husky workbench table, and then having the Mac Mini bolted to it, and having just things connected that remain in place is sort of the big idea that holds, that makes this thing so useful. Any kind of DSLR is probably better than a webcam. I strongly recommend, if you record things on your desktop, to get yourself some kind of a document camera. I think the Ipevos are the best, and I've used a number of different kinds of cameras. I think this works really well, and it is. I don't shoot 4K because it creates gigantic files, and I think on YouTube, for the kinds of things I do, 1080 is fine. So if you're at all serious about doing this stuff and you want to have a really great setup that you can use time and again, try building your own version of Rolling Thunder. I'm also going to create a PDF that shows all of this in a diagram, so you can download it too. Thanks. Bye.